Hey, it's Mike here from MW3 Designs, and today I'm going to show you how you can connect a wireless controller to your dump trailer. What I'm going to be installing is a wireless winch controller that I purchased from Amazon.com. I will reference that I did not receive instructions in the box, but going back to the product from Amazon, you will see that there is a wiring diagram listed as one of the photos for the item. Keep in mind that this wiring diagram is for a winch, not for a dump trailer, so this is just going to give you a general idea of what these connections are for. All right, so this is what we got from Amazon here. This is a wireless winch controller. I'm going to put a link in the description for this. What I really thought was cool about this actual kit is it says up and down. A lot of the wireless winch systems that are out there, it's going to say in and out because you know you're bringing your winch in or you're bringing your cable out. This one actually is up and down, which is really cool because it's for a dump trailer. So let's go ahead and get into some of the wiring. All right, so for this install, you just need a couple of things. You're going to need to know where your power and your ground is, of course, which on a dump trailer, you just have your battery. You're going to be able to run that power and ground right off of there. Then you're also going to need to know where your power up is, and then also where your power down or just your release solenoid is. So some trailers have a power up, a power down. On this Cam Superline trailer, I don't have a power down feature. So basically, the power is just sent to the valve. The valve is going to open, and the weight of the trailer is just going to push that hydraulic fluid back through the pump. So this is my power relay. This is where my power up will be powering from. And then if you can see, it's kind of tough to see, but down on the side back here, there is a solenoid, and I believe that is where my my power, not my power down, but my release solenoid, my relief solenoid is. So we're gonna go ahead, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna get a multimeter, and we're gonna just meter these things out to see where the power goes when we actually hit the switch here, so we know what is gonna be our connection. All right, at this angle, I hope you guys can see everything. I have my power meter here, and what we're gonna be basically doing is we're gonna be hitting the switch, and we're gonna just see where our up is and then where our down is. So what we're looking for is we're just looking for the positive 12 volts when we hit this switch. So we're first gonna look for the power up, and that's gonna basically come off of this power solenoid right here. This is just a big relay, and what this is doing is when you're hitting this up button, it's gonna trigger this relay, which is gonna send power to the pump itself. So what we're gonna do is you're just gonna wanna put your negative side on your battery, and you're going to put your positive side on one of these terminals here, because you're just looking to see which one is going to be the side that's going to turn this on. So we're going to get here, and if I can actually push this button the same time I'm holding these, we'll see if we get our 12 volts when the trailer is going up. And we did. So that right there is going to be our up. So we're going to want to wire our up on our controller to that right there. And now, like I said, the downside is way back behind this pump. Let's see if we can get in there and get that in there. All right, just to give you a closer look at that, that solenoid I'm talking about is tucked way down there. You will see some red spade terminals that are connected to that, and that red spade terminal right there is where I was probing for the power connection. All right, so I just got that wire right in there. So there's two little spade connectors on that solenoid down there. So I'm gonna go ahead, and I got the negative here. We got the positive side on that solenoid. I'm gonna hit down. We're not in there all the way. And there we go. So as you see the power meter there, I got that other lead right into the connector on that solenoid, and I'm hitting down, and you see we got power. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to now take our wireless controller, figure out what lead's going to be up and down, because sometimes with Amazon you're not so lucky to get instructions. So we know where we need to make our connections. Let's go ahead over to that controller and see actually how it works. Okay, so we're back. Now here's our wireless controller. And what I went ahead and I did is I put a ring terminal on our negative side, and then I wired in a little inline fuse circuit breaker into our power wire. You definitely have to put an inline fuse in this circuit coming from the battery. So I used this little circuit breaker just so that I could actually turn it off when I'm not going to use it, so I don't drain the battery. But please make sure that you do use an inline fuse here. Like I said, this came from Amazon with no instructions. So, you could either email the, the seller, get the instructions. I know just a little bit about 12 volt, so I know that in between this to, step the amperes down from that battery. So, all right, let's go ahead and we're going to make these connections to the power and ground. Of course, red is power, negative is, the black one is the negative. And then we're going to just flip this, hit the switch here, and we're going to see which of these two wires is going to be for up and for down. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. And now, like I said, I'm using this little circuit breaker thing because it does have like an on and off switch, and then I can actually leave this off when I'm not using the trailer or going somewhere where I need to dump some items. That way I don't drain the battery. I don't know how much power this thing will draw, but if it's on, I'm sure that it's sending out a signal from the antenna, and kind of going to drain your battery just a little bit. So, all right, we'll go ahead. I'll make sure that this circuit is on. We have our power and our ground connected. And now what I'm going to do is kind of the same thing that we did when we were looking for the 12 volt power on the relay and on the relief solenoid. So basically we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to connect our negative of our power meter to the negative of the battery. And make sure there is a little on off switch on the side of these little wireless controllers. Make sure it's on before you use it, because that could kind of give you some trouble. If you forget, you'll think maybe you didn't wire something correctly. So that switch is on. We got our negative on, and we're going to go ahead and take this white wire. I'm just going to hold it to the power lead here, and I'm going to hit up, and we got 12 volts. So that is for the up. So white is going to be our up. And then we're just going to make sure that we're getting our 12 volts on our down as well. So we got the yellow wire connected over here. We're going to hit down, and again we got 12 volts. So we know that now our white is going to be for up and our yellow is going to be for down. So we're going to have to make a connection from this white wire to this lead on the relay here that we determined was going to be our up, and then we're going to need to get a connection from this yellow wire into this green lead. Let me unplug that down here. So from this green lead, there's a little spade connector. What we'll probably do is I'll probably just use one of those little wire taps for this, and for the white one, we're just going to go ahead and put a little ring terminal on there and just connect it to that nut right there. So let's go ahead. I'm going to get that pre-wired and we'll come back. All right, so we're back, guys. I got these pre-wired, of course. I put a ring terminal on for our up, which is going to go right here to our power relay. And then for our downside, I just have a regular wire here, and we're going to actually use one of these small wire taps. I don't really like using these, but just because it's going to be quick and easy right now for this, and this is all weather tight, so pretty much it's not going to be like hanging out anywhere where there's going to be any salt or road debris or anything else, so I think it'll be fine. And just a couple of butt splices to make our connections onto our controller. And you're probably wondering what these shrink tubed items are here on these leads. What I did is I soldered in a diode here, like a resistor, a diode. And what that's going to do is it's going to actually stop any power from backfeeding into these lines, because I'm actually going to keep my standard wired controller as well. So I just wanted to be cautious and make sure that I don't burn out this little control box if any power is backfeeded in there. If you want to know more about that, you guys could probably just Google that. Just type in how to stop power backfeeding on 12 volt, and there will be a couple resistors. I'm sure that you can get these on Amazon as well. I will double check and see if I can find these for you on Amazon. This is something I had in my toolbox, but I will put a link in the description to the little diodes that you could use as well. All right, so let's go ahead and make these connections and give our wireless controller a try. So basically, like I said, we're just going to do butt splices for these connections from our wireless controller. And I was lucky enough to actually have some wire laying around in the shop that was color coordinated. I think this was like some trailer wire, which was yellow, and some white wire from a trailer, which was great. But it's nice when you can keep everything color coded. It kind of makes it easier as you're doing your job. So, all right, we'll get the butt splice on for our upside. And what I was saying about those diodes, they install one specific way because the power flow only goes one way. So when you install that, just be cautious about which way that goes, because like I said, it stops any backfeeding of power. So that way when I go to use my standard controller, because these will be shared with those same ports as this remote, you want to make sure that when you push this button that 12 volts isn't coming back up into these lines and going into your wireless controller. I'm not sure how well these are built, so you just want to make sure you don't backfeed any power into those. All right, so our butt splices are done. All we got to do is we just got to get our wire tap and get this connected, and then we should be good to give it a test run. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, and we know already that we tested this, and this is going to be our upside. We're going to go ahead and hook that white wire from our controller to that. And I have a little tiny lock washer under here, so make sure we don't lose that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to connect that. I would recommend using, if you guys do have ring terminals and things like that, however your connections are, like if this is screwed in with a ring terminal, you don't want to really like cut the wire and wrap the bare wire around there. If you have ring terminals, just crimp one on and use it. It just makes things a lot easier. All right, so we got that on there. Now we just got to get this wire tap. And like I said, we got this. Let me pull this wire back up here. All right, this is unplugged from that solenoid that's down there. I'm going to go ahead and try to get the camera in there so you guys can see that in a second. But for now, I'm just going to get this wire tap on, and then we can go ahead and get that connection made. And like I said, I'm not a big fan of these things, but sometimes they definitely come in handy for something like this. There. And so when you use these wire taps, basically one side is open so that you can get the wire on there, and then the other side, the wire just kind of sticks right in there. You just make sure you bottom it out all the way, because you want to make sure that it's in there. And then once that's all done, you're basically just going to squeeze that metal tab in there. And what that does is it just goes down and it pierces the insulation on both sides and makes the connection with the bare metal. All right, so that's all set there. All right, now just got to get that plugged back into the solenoid down there. And I'll try to get in there and show you guys exactly where that solenoid is. It's way down back there. So. All right, we got that connection on. And just for now, I'm not going to really do anything too crazy with this, just for the video sake. But I'll probably just come back and maybe use some Velcro or something, just so that maybe Velcro it to the side of the unit. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to give it a test run. We're going to see if it's working. So everything is connected, everything is on. Again, make sure that you have your switch on the side flipped it on, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit up. We got a trailer going up, hit down, and we got it coming back down. And go ahead and we're going to test out the original factory switch as well, make sure everything's connected with that. And that's still connected as well. So now we have two forms of, two ways to have this go up and down. We're going to go ahead and we'll do a test run with this and see what kind of distance we get with it, and we'll go from there. Okay guys, well that's it. We got the controller wired in, we got everything hooked up, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to give this a test. I'm about, I want to say 35-40 feet away from the trailer. which is probably further than you're ever going to be from your trailer, because of course you're probably going to have your trailer connected to your truck, so you're going to be right there. Let's go ahead and give this thing a try. I'm going to go ahead and hit our up button. All right, let's go ahead and give it a try with the down. All right, it's looking good. Perfect. Okay, so there you have it. A quick, easy install of a wireless winch controller in a dump trailer. And like I said, this has the actual up and down, which is really cool to have on the controller for the dump trailer. I will put a link in the description to the actual Amazon product, and also throw a link in there to you for the diodes that I had talked to about for the power not backfeeding into the system. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you can do the same with your dump trailer, and good luck.